Hi everyone, I've done a check so I know the sound works. It might be a little low, but tell me so next time I do it, I will then increase the sound, but I will explain. Uh, Also, I would like to encourage you use a dictionary, even for words you think you know. Just go to a reliable dictionary because it starts off with him saying that he's of an evil banking clan, and us commoners were trained to use the word family, but the elites, they are not. They don't say family. They have clans. Even a guy here from town, he's like from a mafia of clan, and he explained to me, we're not a family, we're a clan. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. That's like old ways of putting it, but no, it does have a meaning. It does have significance. So I encourage you to check all those things out because old stuff is why we have things like they are today. So 1933 banking, has, yeah, it like all the fiat, gold gone, blah blah blah, gold standard, everything is related. And this chat started to change my world upside down. So I encourage everyone, like, if something um, gets stood, if anything stands out, go and look it up. And if you have any questions, you can always comment and I will answer to the best of my ability. But together, we can find out more truths and discover what we've been lied to about. And so, uh, when I read, this is a question and answer, but sometimes there are, yeah, you know how these threads go. You can find this online too, so if you want to read it for yourself, I highly encourage you because this will take many hours for me to finish. But I will try and do as far as I can in one sitting because after reading my for like 50 minutes the other video, my eyes started crossing and my reading started become blah, 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 a lot of blah blah. So anyways, enough with the chat now. I will start reading, but yeah, the questions I will read like this, and the answers from Mr. Rothschild I will read in my best British accent, so you can differentiate if you're listening. Rothschild, yes, I am of that evil banking clan, but a black sheep in wolf's clothes. Even if the stupid amongst you want the truth, you are too uneducated to know what to even ask. What say you, brain trust and learned of GLP? Okay, OP, I'll ask the right question then. Where did all our money go? Money? Money. There ain't no stinking money. There is only power and illusion. That's called the reality you are experiencing, the beautiful lie. Is it true you are cannibals? Energy cannibals? Soul suckers? Do you know why Earthicans love meat? It's the taste of pain. Yum. As Sir Mickey Jagger observed, I shouted out, "Who killed the Kennedys?" When after all, it was you and me. Is you Abraham Lincoln Rothschild? I know your mama. Ha ha, we have no mothers. The chosen are disabused of the notion of a nurturing other who sacrifices all for the innocent being. Teach your children the ways the ways of nature. They will learn one way, or another anyway. Are you gonna finish them fries? No, thank you. Go right ahead. Why you no can spell your name right? I thought it amusing. GLP has several misspelled names, Moran for one. I thought to myself, self, let's do this ghetto style. And yes, I did hear it from my uncle, laugh out loud. Dagobert is to return. That's one prophecy I really hope happens. Finally get rid of all your sorry asses. We aren't the problem. You are. No one forces you into your routines. You choose. Just remember one thing above all: wherever you are, whatever you do, you are here because of your choices and beliefs. We are just the gatekeepers. One other thing: if you knew what it tasted like, you would take the deal as well. Or how about the power of illusion? I remember some glyphs from a book I read about Egypt. They painted their visions with lots of detail and color, but the picture of an ordinary tree in background was all blurry. This is the illusion. It's inside, but the truth is all around us. Unfortunately, at this time, my vision is terrible, so I'm no good to anybody. Lol. You create your own reality, but you are highly suggestible, highly childish in so many ways, and you adults are children who never grew up to reality, all busy telling each other the beautiful lie. Then there is a video that is no longer available saying, "Oh, you create your reality, Gnosticism, or Gnosticism, sorry. A gift of Master Rakoczy, also known as Counter de Saint Germain. And and lies just never fit with anything, even other lies. Yolno. Title of the video is Time. More along the lines of wishful thinking, ask your average worker drone what they would do if tomorrow morning they won the lottery and received $1 bajillion. Now, study the answers and see what I mean. Illusions upon illusions. Stupid little children under the care of the shepherd. And then answering to no one forces you into your routines you choose. I choose us. And a movie clip that is no longer available, The Family Man. I choose us. Who wrote your script? Who are you acting for? Laugh out loud, laugh out loud. I don't know what's wrong with Harvey, doctor. He's not acting normal. Laugh out loud. I'm going to pick the lock. Give it your best effort, Mr. Anonymous Coward. That is the essential human quality which prevents total ruin. However, it is completely misplaced without the tools necessary and taken for granted to the experienced locksmith. Obtain the proper tools and you would be considered a serious threat. Let me guess about how it tasted. Let me guess. Sweet as honey in your mouth? You don't know shit, Mr. Gatekeeper. Honey is such a pedestrian concept, but perfectly relevant to our little discussion. No adult thinks twice about letting the honeybee toil and labor all summer collecting the pollen, and in the autumn, the hooded beekeeper comes and takes the whole fucking honeycomb. Which of you mourns for the honeybee? Which of you thinks twice of the theft of labor which has occurred? Zoom out Google Earth style and look at the macro picture. You are the drone bees, and you are harvested of your energy and labor at regular intervals, just like our friend the honeybee. Is there a difference morality-wise? Is our theft greater than yours? Because you have an intermediary and buy your honey from a middleman, is there any difference? You American drones, have your life not been made easier by harvesting the sweat and tears of your Chinese brothers? And whenever there are iniquities, we are there, getting our cut. Laugh out loud. Some people know they're living lies, being part of a network that has been very good to them, as they perceive what is good and they have a great deal invested in the lie. These are the handlers, controllers, and manipulators who stand to lose a great deal from the point of view should the lies be made for what they are. These are the enemies. They are legion. From their view, the system has done well by them, And why not keep those under their thumb in a cage of lies? These then become, by their agreed choices, the dark souls following the dark paths. The eyes they put out becomes their eyes. Their bright lights diminish, and until in one life the light in heart shines out no more, they become hideous and putrid, both outward and inward, until all who gaze upon them find them revolting. In the end, all they have is their will, a cold determination, without conscience, without remorse, without love. And illusions upon illusions, in short, by creating their identity that relates to any fiction or delusion, makes them and the delusion as one. The question is, are you one of them, even you're even if you're a snake slave? Anyway, you'll know. Yes, one will catch more flies with honey than feces. Construct the cages with some creature comforts and they will lock themselves in. And then advance that, rather than a literal Garden of Eden, the planet is a scary, scary place. Who doesn't want someone else to assure their safety? And so on. If you think I am anonymous, get your eyes checked and look harder. I wonder what's in my toolbox. Yes, Mr. Eyes. What's in your toolbox? Do you have anything in your toolbox? Name one thing you have going for you, toolbox or not. Crickets. If I wanted the money, if I wanted, I would use it to bring down you bastards, every last penny of it. Interesting. What will your very first move be? Let me guess. A new car and a new house, drawing the noose tighter before even giving it a thought. Laugh out loud. The irony is that you are best able to effect the changes you espouse now as a slave, since you truly have so little to lose. Seriously, what is stopping you from acting now, instead of when you receive your bajillion-dollar payout? Laugh out loud. Oh, this is rich. How about I show you in time? Glacial time, probably. Contrary to common perception and urban myth, we are not immortal. Please, don't keep me waiting too long, Mr. Whomever you are. Yeah, keep on laughing. In the end, all matter returns to its original place. I wonder where yours is. Wherever did you get the idea that all matter returns to its original place? Where have you learned that in nature? By the way, no apostrophe in its. It's, is, it is, it is possessive. Rothschild is going down. Oh yes, sure. What proof offer you for this silly notion? Again, an example of childish thinking, making statements with no basis for support. My dad can pummel your dad. Speaking of going down, how are your kids' education coming along? What relationship do you enjoy with your kids? What do they spend their time doing? What is their future? The only way we go down is if you wake up, and that isn't ever going to happen. Look at the stupid comments on here, and so far not one intelligent question. You can learn because, as a man of honor, I will answer truthfully. But alas, as once stated, the truth, you can't handle the truth. Laugh out loud. One hint. Wall Street. That would just be the beginning. Wasn't the hacker group Anonymous supposed to bring down the NYSE last week? Weren't lots of people supposed to do lots of things that never happened? You don't understand the NYSE any more than you understand money. How can you bring down something you don't understand? Laugh out loud. Read Sun Tzu for a beginner course. then ponder on the fact that you are taking on forces with experience measured in millennia. If you are smart enough to figure out who my spirit is, then maybe you will realize that your last comment was misguided. Wasn't the Bickle character a crazed cab driver who shot up some slum neighbors? Is that your role model? Take out a few of your neighbors to get back at the system which oppresses you. Sorry, you need a new plan. For moi, I will burn the money on my altar, OP, lol, and convert the energy of it to something else. I'm a strange human, lol, Yolgnu. Altar just implies trading one deity illusion for another, when the real power lies within. Laugh out loud. Can you lend me €1 trillion, please? I promise to pay it back. P.S. $1 million will also do. Surely you jest. We never want you to pay it back, be it a pound or a penny. The magic is in the interest. Magic, I tell you. Interest. Borrow all the sweet, sweet candy you want, children. Pay me only a bright copper or two, lovely children. It would cost me exactly the same to lend or give you the €1 trillion. And note that you, a well-trained child, were polite enough to ask me to lend you something which has no value. Wonderful training. Think of your young children and their instinctive knowledge of mine. They grab things, claim things, and don't want to share. Greedy, selfish child, you will share, betrayed by their own parents. And I see you did not reply to MI6. I know you know of the genetic memory passed down from our ancestors. You know there are thousands, could be more, who knows? Lol. Yes, Light Feather, I was temporarily stunned by your revelation. Please don't hurt us. Rofs is trolling. I only got one question for you, buddy. Why the fuck am I not purple? You can become purple. Eat more beets, perhaps. Michael Jackson and American entertainer desired to change his skin from black to something approaching white. I never did understand that, so becoming purple isn't out of the question, if that's your dream. I know there is also an orange spray tan solution. Can compromise on orange. Are you flexible on the color? How come you're sharing your time with us today? It's a harvest of sort, I suppose. Why does a small child poke a box turtle? Why does a small child study an anthill intently and then smash it under his heel? That universal unknown. Does it make me feel superior? Not really. A freak show? No. Perhaps there is a part of me that hopes for the growth of others. Perhaps I feel a duty to remain open to helping others I deem worthy. As a matter of honor, I will not lie. As a matter of practicality, I will not play Socrates. Come up with your own intellect and stretch your thinking. Thank you for your question. Your reaction doesn't surprise me, OP. Lololol. At least you laughed, because that was the meaning of my post. Know that the petals of my heart is working well at all my 7 centers, compared to your only 5 centers by the choices you make. Snake one day, snake forever. I hope not. But, I still consider your type a brother, lolololol, and the door will remain open till the last day. Anyway, Yolgnu. Brothers sometimes outgrow brothers, Yolgnu. Close the door when the winter winds blow cold. What types of spirituality does your family respect? Spirituality is a human construct, and like all illusions, plays a part in the development of things. Is it a spiritual force that turns a windmill? A child might think so, until the mechanics of asymmetrical earth heating, which makes the wind blow, are well understood. A windmill turns and energy is harvested. A scientific explanation for a mystical phenomenon. Do Rothschilds only reincarnate into your own bloodline? What are your views on reincarnation? Reincarnation is growth, which has been packed and stripped of its meaning by the so-called New Ages. Purity of bloodline is the essence of history. Most of the first world nations have been weakened by dilution of bloodlines under the banner of cultural diversity, an old trick but highly effective. The movie Doctor Strangelove put out the POE, purity of essence, meme, but people laugh it off as the ravings of a madman. Check out how Israel handled the issues of bloodlines within their country, but they too are failing. No, falling. Laugh out loud. Have you been to another planet? That question presupposes that there are other planets. About the borrowing of money. I had my fingers crossed behind my back when I promised to pay it back. Aha! A trickster, harlequin, joker. It is sadly true that only the wealthy can afford absolute honesty. Loss of freedom begins in earnest when people are forced to tell the lies to fit within a society necessary to maintain the beautiful lie. Only the truly powerful tell the truth because, due to their position, there can be no repercussions. What makes a bloodline pure? What are the most valued bloodlines and why? There is noise in every bloodline. The real question is how the patriarch deals with the noise. Remember that remember that suspension bridge in Oregon, USA? Tacoma Narrows, I believe. So that would be Washington, USA then. Any matter resonant frequency re- any matter resonant frequency reduced it to rubble as engineers watched. They were unable to suppress the self-feedback loop, and the whole thing came apart. Watch the video. Consider the same forces genetically. DNA. Bloodline needs to be pruned and tended for the long haul. No way around that, but tell that to your average person. How come you're sharing your time with us today? Someone answered. It's part of his protocol. Protocol. It's protocol, by the way. Doesn't your computer highlight spelling errors? Do you care how you appear to others? And let me just comment on this. He also does some spelling errors. Who runs the world? No, who runs the world? Vatican, Jesuits, Knights of Malta, Council of Three, Black nobility families, Masons, Baphomet, Moloch? Someone answered. It's a combination of 300. There has got to be more than just a committee of 300. Let's see if OP will enlighten us with the answer of the true power behind the scenes. Who runs the world? Well, you do, of course. Whenever I travel, I see a lot of yous out there busy running the world. I also see that you run the world based on your precepts of how things work and such. Little algorithms constantly operating in the background. Where on earth did they come from? Laughing, laughing, laughing out loud. And of course, being children, things go wrong when bad or selfish decisions are made. Boogeymen are thus created to absorb the blame. Deep, dark, evil forces that make things go bump in the night. They are the reason for all this trouble. Bad, bad men. I suppose another way to put it, that you might understand better, is that the world is run by men who truly understand the dark nature of the human spirit. So, you provide the evil, and these men create scenarios where they know how you will react. It's scary how accurately refined these rule-based systems have become. Ironically, these men of knowledge must keep their hands clean. Must, or the magic goes. Oh, sweet irony. Believe me when I say that the efforts to suppress come from immediately above your station. Those who have a few extra comforts that you don't, and that want to maintain your submission so that they can maintain theirs. The real masters are the intellects who suggest in a suggestible way that which you cannot resist. Did you know that the US porn industry is now larger than the Hollywood box office? Well over 10 billion. But ask anyone if they watch porn and you will likely be told no. Who is the evil dark force here? The entity who understands human lust and provides for it? The consumer of the lust? Should the porn industry exist if its services were not in demand? Would it end tomorrow if people chose not to watch porn? Of course. So pick your evil. Of course, the secrets have made more than one bloodline powerful beyond belief, and there are struggles. Ultimately, one will win out, so that's interesting. How much Tesla technology do you have hidden away? What is the newest secret tech invention or breakthrough? Hidden in plain sight, there is a wealth of information available on Tesla's techniques. Ironically, few take the time to read them. Very, very few. Almost none. And Tesla's patents lay out a great starting point. But like your great aunt leaving out a key ingredient of a prize cake recipe, some work must be done. Tesla was the real genius, not Einstein, not Edison. Tesla had the keys to the kingdom within his reach. It was thus necessary to change the lock. Are you cooking fried chicken again tonight? I believe one of the great inventions of the 20th century was to grind up the chicken parts and compress them into small nuggets. Submerge those nuggets in boiling grease and then serve those hot nuggets with an artificially flavored, high fructose laden syrup to make them edible. What a concept! I wouldn't even have the nerve to propose such a thing. Let them eat entrails, laugh out loud. Very interesting. Thanks for the answers and the ideas it will generate. Tesla's patent attorney conducted a 3-day deposition in conjunction with a patent he filed on wireless energy transmission. The attorney was concerned that the patent language was insufficient to capture the genius and potential of Tesla's idea. Read that if you want some thinking material. I have a scan of the original, containing some margin notes in Tesla's hand, and consider it one of the great works of the era, a true genius. What happens when a moral man with a just cause has enough resources to change the collective mind? Will your family be willing to pass the torch? Sorry guys, they write like I don't know what here. Well, like I do sometimes too. So bear with my wrong reading. Dear sir, reflect on your so-called morality, from where it springs, and by what definitions and rules does it function? What does it add to your arsenal? I dare say your delusions are rampant, and your ways muddled. There is nothing presently stopping you from joining the ranks of the nobility, except your inability to grow. I, for one, welcome the enlightened and engaged, but as children can play store and pretend, it does not make them a Fortune 500 corporation, no matter how they might desire to be. Someone says, email me the scan ad, change, blah blah. It's part of your destiny. Such a compelling offer. How could one resist? Nikola Tesla, a true genius, but lol. He know how to hiss another reptoid, dude. A reptoid. Reptoids didn't hijack this country. They invented it from the beginning and for thousands of years. Everything we know as reality is something given to us by reptoid. Period. Yes, I know why you laugh out loud. For now, Yolgnu. Now and forever. You can't resist. You know you want to. I want to what? Resist. Make sure you're clear what you want. Awesome thread title. Well, Thank you, little yellow guy. I hold no animosity towards brown skin. They have been endlessly amusing with their capering antics. Read what I said again before your preconceived notions fill the blanks. I said you can't resist and you want to email me. Well, you established the article by stating you can't resist. Then you said you know you want to. That would imply that I know I want to resist. In actuality, I'm indifferent to the dilemma. The universe is too young for its inhabitant to possess the knowledge of good and evil. This knowledge corrupts this universe evolution. I choose to return to my proper path. I'm guessing I am not alone in this thought, although there are not many willing to give up this knowledge. What will happen to those who do not reject this knowledge and return to their original path? I think they will probably become lost in time and eventually go insane. Opie is well on his way to this eventuality. Insanity is the manifestation of one's inability to reconcile different rule-based systems operating on the same spatial plane. The truth reveals the nature of the one true system. That one true system manifests perfect clarity, which is the opposite of insanity. How could it be otherwise? Boredom implies a lull in the expectation of future happenings, where the boredom seen as permanent, then many would act out insane algorithms. This website is a prime example of the waiting expectants. Expect ants. Something is coming. Doom, wealth, a beautiful man or of woman who will whisk me away from my previously bad choices. The realm of belief is of one's own making. Can you deconstruct the illusions? You drunk? You probably already know the Rothschilds dabble a bit in the art of winemaking. It might surprise you to know that I abstain, except for certain ceremonial occasions, but that I will not consume any food for 48 hours before such consumption. Alcohol is the opiate of the masses, except that its qualities are not opiate-like, but it does drug the reason senses, so therefore useful. Another video Yolgnu posted. Maybe a little humility here, lol. A video named Ralph Murto Humility. Excuse me. Excuse me. If I were a child, that would be a scary picture. Is that one of the tribal bloodlines in your reality? I just fixed the original statement to be more clear. Thanks for pointing out, as my response was a little too ambiguous and could have been taken a couple of ways. My pleasure. I actually knew your intended meaning. Just having a bit of sport with you. Someone posted a picture. Who's the lady in white? From appearances, a woman of some substance and bearing. She went to the Bilderberg meeting. They basically bowed down to her. Is she an Elohim? Gods are created by those who need them for their own purposes. So, does Baroness Philippine make some good wine or what? As the dark-skinned might explain, Opus 1, yo! Who is your god, and what do you utilize him for? Objection! Question presume, facts not in evidence. So Rothschild posted something from The Guardian. Here are some other who attended Bilderbergs this year, plus an article with all the latest gossip. Enjoy! Tell us about the Aldobrandini family. You people get all these notions from Harry Potter books, fiddlesticks and witch hat, a scary black cat on a flying broom. Insanity, but highly amusing. I would rather go to the source for info. What? You don't think the secret society publish their comings and goings in the local news? Well, I never. Who's the oldest living person? Uh, you mean the oldest living bloodline? Have you ever met? No. Have you ever met Marius Romanus or Saint Germain? Imagine a reality, well, where things aren't named, that you know someone intuitively, and all that is known is apparent to you without explanation. It was those Egyptians who came up with the need to name everything. It was so much simpler before. About the oldest living bloodline. I want to hear this. A person is a physical now manifestation of the bloodline, a representative or token of no special significance. The bloodline is everything. Take care with your bloodline, dear sir or madam. Think in terms of the possibility that all moments in time exist concurrently. Future and past are simple-minded constructs. What do you know intuitively? The totality, the all. Do you really believe that that which you are can be hidden when operating in the truth plane? It's a logic fallacy from the start. Those of us operating in the truth plane cannot lie, obviously. There is no evil or good here. These planes are so different that the lines of comprehension are impossible to bridge, and yet I try. Good nature how I try. Ever seen the Ochre Red, the Blood Codex book? Dear Bickle, take with grains of salt that which is presented for your consumption, and ask why it is being presented. Remember the four underlying principles. That which you know, that which you know you don't know, that which you don't know you know, that which you don't know you don't know. Which is the prime? The spirit of the individual has some bearing, yes? No comfort has the fire at night, which lights the face so cold. How many dimensions are in this plane? 2. The known and unknown, the seen and unseen. You only win if you can keep the gates closed. I know you don't control them all. There is no win, only advantage. The game is afoot. What is the fountain of youth? Bloodlines imply a progression of sorts. Bloodlines relegate the individual at any point in time as a mere placeholder. To what end the fountain of youth? Just another distraction for the uninitiated. Kind of a trick question. I know that I don't know everything, but everything is available when you tap into the source of everything. The journey of learning what you don't know is half the fun, you know? Dear Bickle, the prime must be to learn what is not known. Therefore, not knowing what you don't know is prime. Learn what the questions are first and foremost, then find the answer. This presumes that you are questing, not just content where you are. Are you, Bickle, a quester? Battle of Evermore. Yes, quite vivid imagery for so few words, don't you think? Welcome, OP. What value does another human hold to you? Let me ask you this. Who are you yoked to, and who is yoked to you? Who exists from the sweat of your brow, and by whose sweat is your life sustained? What are the value propositions in both directions? Point taken. It's getting interested, the game that is. Interesting is one word. However, when the social fabric unravels, it can become quite ugly. Ugly as in the termination of bloodlines. Sorry, but what does yoke mean? It appears the yoke is on me. Try this one. Yoke. A crossbar with 2 U-shaped pieces that encircles the neck of a pair of oxen or other draft animals working together. B. Yoke or yokes, a pair of draft animals such as oxen joined by a yoke. C. A bar with a double harness to connect the collar of each horse to the pole of a wagon or coach. 2. A frame designed to be carried across a person's shoulders with equal loads suspended from each end. 3. Nautical, a crossbar on a ship's rudder to which the steering cables are connected. 4. A clamp or vise that holds a machine part in place or controls its movement, or that holds two such parts together. 5. A piece of garment that is closely fitted either around the neck or shoulders or at the hips, and from which an unfitted or gathered part of the garment is hung. 6. Something that connects or joins together, a bond or tie. 7. Electronics, a series of two or more magnetic recording heads fastened securely together for playing or recording on more than one track simultaneously. 8a. Any of various emblems of subjugation, such as a structure made of two upright spears with a third laid across them, under which conquered enemies of ancient Rome were forced to march in subjugation. B. The condition of being subjugated by, or as if by a conqueror, subjugation or bondage. The 14th century Russia under the Tartar yoke, the yoke of drug addiction. What is blue blood? Whom has it, or rather, who was it passed to? Another. You skipped my question. A term of differentiation to create and highlight distinctions of class. In reality, it has no practical meaning, no more than any other word. Have you ever met an other? Okay, different question. What's the significance of this? And a link to MSNBC. Well, MSNBC is the source. How important could it be? When you read that article, what comes to your mind? When you read that article, what comes to your mind? It means they're going to have a daughter first, and to check Kate Middleton's family tree extensively to see what's in her bloodline. Now those are bloodlines with a lot of noise. Dear OP, believe it or not, the monetary system of repression and slavery only five us humans a better chance of completing our missions here on Earth. What you and your kind fail to understand is that you're only making things easier for us. I thank you for the repressive and poverty-producing system of exchange that has been created here. Every impoverished beggar gives a generous person a chance to give. That is our purpose here, to give and receive unconditional love. When you die and reach the light, you'll understand too, so quit trying to sound so sinister. You're actually doing us all a favor. Everything is as it should be. There really is a big picture, and it can't really go wrong. Oh well, that's an interesting theory. Let's see how that one plays out. What are the quiet bloodlines? The ones you hear nothing about. The ones purring smoothly according to plans. Why does the media sell human potential so short? The media is a mirror, albeit one which tailors itself to your perception and biases. But isn't her family considered commoners because they come from coal miner stocks? It's ridiculous. Why is the presumption that these people are royalty? From where did that spring forth? At one point, did you know that you are of a different bloodline than most? Do you all communicate on a telepathic level or something? Most cultures have lingual nuances which serve as class markers. For example, the Vietnamese, by their enunciation and sentence structure, know from what class the person they are engaging come from. Of course, the English are masters at this, as are the Indians and nearly every other group. At a certain level of development, the markers change and become more rich in meaning. So a child sees a Van Gogh and grasps pretty colours and swirls of light and contrast. The more developed intellect sees the struggles of a man captured on canvas. Same picture, different depths of meaning. About media. Isn't that the truth? But I think it mirrors more the insecurities than anything. Human insecurities and fear keep the windmills turning and generating electricity. Sorry, I don't believe in royalty. I believe each of us has the attainable goal of transcendence when we are ready. Most don't realize it. When you when you attain this insight, how did the action and arc moments of your life change? Why does a child seemingly have more wisdom than most adults today? Creativity of spirits should be encouraged. The child holds the purity of the human spirit. That's why they have to be educated. Pity that. Indoctrinated is more like it. What is the Rothschilds' homeschooling like? It's difficult to explain in terms that are easily understood. If one wished to teach the ways of the wolf to their offspring, the infant would be placed in a wolf's den. You are the one who is in a delusion. You know very well that you and all the so-called elite have it coming. Your time is very limited, and so is your power and wealth. It will all rot and perish. And so will you if you don't repent to the true God who is in control. Look around and tell me of what your support structures entails. How prepared are you for what is to come? Where does your knowledge come from? What is a wolf's den like, Teen Wolf? Like floating in the primordial ether where all is all. The sad, greedy part is that everyone could have the education you speak of, intelligence. It could better the whole world and everyone and everything on it and in it. But instead, you all choose to control and own it for yourself. What if this education process, this intelligence, is already inside you? And the educational process is nothing but unlocking the secrets within. To whom does the responsibility lie to unleash this infinite potential? It is I. Is it I that is evil for not teaching you to do what you are already equipped to do? This logic is perplexing, except for the fact that it's entirely consistent with the nature of your problem. So, you ask to travel? Another term devoid of any meat. Where is the space within? Sorry, hun. That's not gonna be. Oh, some other questions. Intelligence from book learning is not needed. It's listening to the heart and loving unconditional that is needed, and not judging. Someone else answered, "Sorry, hun. That's not gonna be what it takes. What takes them down, and that's just the cold hard facts." I believe you mean cold hard facts. Didn't the Rothschilds make their money from the blood, sweat, and tears of the common man, financing both sides of war and stealing the little pittance those commoners make in interest? Theft, I call it. I suppose that's one perspective, but why the wars happened and who asked for the financing are the real questions. What breakdown in logic and social fabric made two groups see themselves as opposing? And further, that the opposition could be best decided by murder. Did your Bible not admonish to kill another? The Ten Commandments are very simple, no? I am off now for a time. but I will return. In the meantime, put your heads together and come up with the most important question you can muster. Perhaps your lines will make a step forward today. Here's where I stopped last time in my no audio video, but I will keep on. Hello, OP. Much of what you say resonates with me. I began meditating at the age 13, which led to greater awareness of life and its multi-layered construction, or the beautiful lie. My question is, when one reaches a certain acuity, the Workaby analogy was spot on, one's aperture has more f-stops to allow more light in and see further. When this occurs, one ceases to stop fighting against shadows or illusions. Personally, I'm more interested in the secrets of light and making art than changing the world, and the only world one changes is oneself. The amazing thing is that when something resonates, it resonates. Can't be force or fate, it just is. You will know it clearly when you experience it. You may have heard the expression, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. Similarly, when the path is prepared for mental acceptance of truth, there will be little resistance encountered. The truth continues to lap at the shores of your mind. Much like the ocean's unrelenting tides, lies eventually are turned into sand, then powder, then nothingness. Believe it or not, we are all on the same side. You just lack the capacity to understand, presently anyway. I have to say, you have not told one lie. Maybe a few diversions, but you are playing the game and need to keep humans on their toes. You know the illusion is coming to an end. It is written, so shall it be. Time is up, about up, is why the rally to bring chaos and fear to the world. Human fear feeds those that rule the dark side. There is light and there is darkness. Darkness and light cannot exist together. Where there is darkness, light does not exist, and where there is light, darkness ceases to exist. The light is coming, and TPTP knows this and are attempting their last and final strand. Don't feed their plan with fear and hate and division. Humankind must come together as one. We are all one, and our consciousness feeds off each other. Control your emotions. Do not fall into negative mindsets and false interpretations of the illusion Earth is quarantined within. So, quarantine will be lifting, and time is short for your ilk in the grand scheme of the universe. Stay peaceful. Show love and support for all. They hate that. You're a mirror. You get what you put forth. If you are attacked, think of it as you attacking yourself. Stay silent. Like attracting like. Do you understand, dear ones? I know it is a construct that is hard to grasp for unawakened souls, but don't fear, just love. Don't fight, embrace, for we are all one in the galactic realm. This is your moment to find the power that each and every one of you on Earth possesses deep inside from birth. Awaken to your true power and abilities. Awaken to your birthright of abundance and the power within you to create that abundance from sheer mind power. Free will. Use your power of free will to create and stop destroying. For though destruction, you create your own enslavement for OP and his ilk to control. Do you understand this analogy, dear ones? You are all powerful creative beings. Claim your power, control your emotions and thoughts, and do not allow the dark forces to control you and Earth any longer. May Earth and humanity transcend into its rightful place in the universe of light and destroy all darkness forever. Peace be upon you all. Written by Merci. Duality is one of the beautiful lies. Consider that darkness and light are one. Good and evil are one. We, or should I say you, fight yourselves. Can you not see that? You fight yourselves. While you fight yourselves, others pick your pockets. Who is the greater fool? Who's truly at fault? You for fighting yourselves, or others who rob you while you struggle? That is why you are viewed as foolish children. You will have a place at the table when you have proven yourselves worthy. And don't think you're not being watched and evaluated. Think for a second. Absolute zero is minus 273.15 degrees Celsius, minus 459.67 Fahrenheit. So if you live in a place that is an average temp of, say, 20 degrees Celsius, 68 Fahrenheit, you have in the year 293.15, I don't know, kilos of energy. This incredible large amount of energy is at your fingertips, all around. Just we have to sit and wait for someone who builds a device capable of transforming hot air into free electricity. Mig, you are correct. Of course, anyone who is open to nature and truth would instinctively understand. A child standing face turned to the warm summer sun instinctively understands. It takes the education system a turn thoughtful. No, it takes the educational system to turn thoughtful, cerebral children into worker drones, and the slaves pay for their children's enslavement. It would be tragic if it weren't so funny. And look how hard people struggle to remain slaves. OP, I really hope you're able to return sometime to answer more questions. Yes, Bickle, stretch that mighty mental muscle of yours. I appreciate your desire to grow and learn, and you have learned that hostility, verbal or otherwise, is a loser's game, or at least you've shown signs slowly dawning. So much to think, feel about. This has been an interesting thread. Something about bloodlines. You constantly hear about the reptilian bloodlines being Rh negative, that the elites are Rh negative. Is this true? Oi! Crazy Mama 73 appears from the ether to inform and enlighten. Well, reptilian is an emotionally charged word here and elsewhere, so please forget the reptilian reference for now and consider the following facts and questions. Who are the children of Israel? Why were their seed blessed? Why were they told not to intermarry with other people to circumcise their sons for identification? Why were they told to preserve their genealogy? Where did Adam and Eve's sons go to get their wives if they were the only humans on Earth? Many scientists believe that modern man evolved from ape-like primates. They have much proof to back up their theories, including modern blood analysis and comparative studies between modern man and lower anthropoids, such as the chimpanzees and the rhesus monkey. It has been proven that the majority of mankind, 85%, has a blood factor common with the rhesus monkey. This is called rhesus positive blood, usually shortened Rh positive. This factor is completely independent from the ABO blood types. In the study of genetics, we find that we can only inherit what our ancestor had, except in the case of environmental or selective mutation. We can have any of numerous combinations of trails inherited from all of our ancestors, nothing more and nothing less. Therefore, if man and ape evolved from a common ancestor, their blood would have evolved the same way. Blood factors are transmitted with much more biological precision than any other characteristic. It could be argued from scientific scrutiny that modern man and rhesus monkeys have a common ancestor sometimes in the past, all other earthly primates share this Rh factor, but this leaves out the people who are Rh negative. If all mankind evolved from the same ancestor, their blood would be compatible. Where did the Rh negative come from? If they are not the descendants of prehistoric man, could they be the descendants of planetary travelers? All animals and other living creatures know that known to man can breed with any other of their species. Relative size and color makes no difference. Why does infants hemolytic disease occur in humans if all humans are the same species? Hemolytic, I'm sorry, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. Hemolytic disease is the allergic reaction that occurs when an Rh negative mother is carrying an Rh positive child. Her blood builds up antibodies to destroy an alien substance the same way it would a virus, thereby destroying the infant. Why would a mother's body reject her own offspring? Nowhere else in nature does this occur naturally. This same problem does occur in mules, a cross between a horse and donkey. This fact alone points to the distinct possibility of a crossbreeding between two similar but genetically different species. Why does science, i.e. the little people science, fail to explain how Rh negative is possible? Those familiar with blood factors admit that Rh humans must at minimum be a mutation, if not descendants, of a different ancestor. If a mutation, what caused the mutation? Why does it continue with the exact characteristics? Why does it so violently reject the Rh factor if it was within their own ancestry? Who was this ancestor? Difficulties in determining ethnology are largely overcome by the use of blood group data, for they are single gene characteristics and not affected by the environment. The Basque people of Spain and France have the highest percentage of Rh negative blood. About 30% have RR, Rh negative, and about 60% carry one R negative genes. The average is only 15% Rh negative, while some groups have very little. The Oriental Jewish people of Israel also have a high percent Rh negative, although most other Oriental people have only about 1% Rh negative. The Samaritans and the Black Kokin, I don't know how that's pronounced, Kokin, Jewish, also have a right percentage of Rh negative blood, although again, the Rh negative blood is rare among most black people. Could the Basque be one of these colonies, or could it have been the original colony on Earth? The original of the Basques is unknown. Their language is unlike any other European language. Some believe the Basque was the original language of the Book of Genesis. Some believe it was the original language of the world and possibly of the Creator. Genesis 6:2. The sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and took them wives, all of which they chose. Who were the children of these marriages? Genesis 6:4. God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, and the same became mighty of old. From the King James Bible dictionary we find men children, men of Israel, male children of God, not children of man. Exodus 32:23. Exodus 34:7 states, the iniquity of the father will be unto the children unto the fourth generation. It is plain that something is inherited. Could it be the blood? Blood is mentioned more often than any other word in the Bible except God. These two words you find on almost every page, blood and God. the blood of the gods? This message has been written for thousands of years. There is a connection between the blood and the gods. The American Indians had the tradition of making good friends, blood brothers, if they thought they were worthy. Could this tradition have been for a reason? Could they have actually been checking to see if they were blood brothers, the same type of blood? The clumping angulation that occurs when Rh positive and Rh negative blood are mixed is visible to the naked eye. Could they have been told by their ancestors that their blood was different from that of the rest of mankind, except for their brothers and sisters from other tribes scattered throughout the earth? Indian traditions declare that their ancestors were of cosmic origin. The Indian totem pole is actually a family genealogy. Why all this preoccupation with genealogy among different people scattered throughout the earth? No other animal on earth has this preoccupation with ancestry. Where did this tradition come from? People scattered throughout the earth who had no known contact with each other all simultaneously had the urge to chart their family tree. Why? How important could this have been to primitive cavemen struggling to survive to chart their genealogy? They had no understanding of modern genetics and inheritance, so why would they preserve their genealogy? Were they told to preserve their heritage until a future date when they would return and it would be understood? Until a time like now, when the descendant would be able to understand the message they were leaving? Although they probably didn't realize the importance of preserving their genealogy, they may have been believed that future generations would understand. What are we that future generation? Was there a message left for us to understand? Do we have the courage to look for the answer? Do we really want to know, or would we rather keep our heads buried in the sand? What we don't know still affects us. You will not see unless you look. Only through knowledge will we find truth. Rh negative blood has not evolved on Earth in the natural course of events. For many years, people have been searching for the wrong thing. Could the true missing link actually be man himself? The unknown link between Earth and the stars, hybrid man? Is man the missing link between primate and extraterrestrial? Upon x-raying the tomb of Makare, high priestess of Ammon, it was found that the infant buried with her labeled Prince Mutenihit, Prince Mutenihit, was actually a female Hamadryas baboon. Sorry. Pretend I'm pronouncing everything correct. An examination of Makare showed she had given birth shortly before dying. Dear Bickle, start to consider the possibility that you, the Rh positive primate that you are, have only just begun your evolutionary journey. Consider that you are evolving as fast as your little helix can regenerate. The others you so misunderstand have engaged you to our mutual benefit and survival. Time out. My reading is spiraling. So I will stop it right here, and I hope you enjoyed. This has been one of the best maybe the best reading in my life, except the Bible, but that I'm still reading. I'm not finished yet, but I really love the Bible. But this, well, whatever. This is number 2. Bye.